Now, this is a very interesting case, so it's weird that Michael Caperton even had to really decide on this case. So, Michael Caperton is going to reverse and remand the Powell Family Court, because the Powell Family Court had ordered a husband and wife, a father who thought he was the father of 3 kids, or 2 kids and 2 kids, but it turned out that one of the kids wasn't his. So, Michael Caperton reverses and remands. It says that the father didn't have to pay the child support for a child that wasn't his. So this is case number 2013-CA-001462-ME. Okay, so you have JEM versus SCF. So I guess family court, they don't use the whole names, they just use initials. JEM, Jim, we'll just call him Jim, and SCF. So Jim is the husband and SCF is the wife, or the former wife. Former husband, former wife. So Jim and SCF were married in 97, divorced in 2007. Their marriage lasted 10 years. They had 2 kids, and they both thought when they divorced that both of the kids were theirs. So they made determinations, essentially, assuming that the kids were both of theirs, by blood, biologically. So the wife had got $1,096 per month in child support for both kids. Now, over the years, this is 2007, so 4 years later, Jim started seeing one of the kids grow up, not really looking like him, so he got 2 over-the-counter paternity tests, and the over-the-counter paternity test had said that he was right. That was not his kid. So this is 4 years later, after the divorce, after he'd paid for 4 years in child support of over $1,000 per month for a child that wasn't his, which makes me think he should be able to sue and get that money back. So Jim confronts SCF in 2011 about the over-the-counter paternity test, over-the-counter, and SCF, well, she plays, oh man, she's so good. She lies. She says it's not even a possibility. What do you mean that's not even possible? I've only had sex with you and just you, and I've never had sex with anyone else. So SCF says it's not possible, told the lawyer the same thing, and then she gets pissed off at Jim and then files a motion to stop Jim's visitation of both children, including the one that was his. So March 12, 2012, the husband moved the court for DNA testing and for an order of contempt against the wife for unilaterally stopping the visitations. After the DNA test, it was found out that Jim was right. He was only father of 1 kid, not the other kid. Now, SCF, she, lied, said it was never even a possibility, told her lawyer the same thing, so she lies once, lies twice, lies again. And during the proceedings, she actually claimed that she was the victim of rape. It's the first time she had ever mentioned that she was the victim of rape. And then they asked who was it, and she wouldn't mention who it was. So when she said that she was the victim of rape, I feel like criminal proceedings should have began right then and there. Either she is, accusing somebody that, doesn't deserve to be accused, or she was a victim of rape. So we should take her serious, right? The Me Too movement, we should take her concerns serious. And due process begins with a complaint. So there it is. She's a victim of rape. So they didn't do that. The trial court removes the children from SCF. After all this took place, the DNA testing, and then that she says, oh, she was a victim of rape. The trial court removed the children from SCF because of the deterioration of her mental and emotional state and for fear for the children. So when the DNA results came in, so he filed for the DNA results, got it, found out he's not the father of one of the kids. He didn't immediately file a motion for a reduction in child support payments. And because he didn't immediately file a motion for a reduction in child support payments, the court ruled that he was the assumed father, so he was going to keep on paying child support. So he later applies for a reduction in child support. So he said he filed the motion as soon as he could. So he filed the motion for a reduction in child support as soon as he could. And he also mentioned that SCF had her child meet her real father, but SCF denies this. So SCF is just lying over and over again, right? Oh, it's not even possible. Oh, it was possible, but I was raped. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you're raped, and then you're going to go get your child to meet the rapist, who's the father? But she denied it. And then Jim filed changing the child support payments as soon as he could. And then the child, Jim had mentioned that because he's not the biological father, that the biological father of the other child could restore his father's rights whenever he wanted to. It wasn't his kid. So he didn't have, the legal, if the biological father came back into the life, then he has, no way to fight him. And then that's it. So the DNA results come in. It's not your kid for 4 years. He'd been paying her $1,000 for 2 kids. So that's $500 per month times 4 years. Now he's going to, reverse this case and remand this case because it's clearly fucked up. You're going to force a father. Why would Powell Family Court force a father to pay child support for a child that wasn't his? You should find out who the biological father is and then get him to pay the child support. But to sit there and just put it on this guy who's basically, he's been lied to, he's been duped, he's been raising a kid that wasn't his, he's been paying child support on a kid that wasn't his for 4 years. So this is just a long stem of lies. This is just, lie after lie. This is just a decade of a lie that she wouldn't even come forward with. I guess she wanted to, collect that child support. She didn't want to go out and do anything, just collect child support and she was okay with that. She was okay with taking money day in and, every month from the gym. SCF didn't mind stealing from Jim every month for a child that wasn't his. And then it seems like she's covering up for the guy who is the actual father of the child. She says she's a victim of rape, right? Well, I said it wasn't possible, but I guess there was that one time I got raped. So it just sounds to me she just keeps lying over and over again. And clearly the father, was right. The father was right. He shouldn't have to pay child support for a child that wasn't his. So Michael Caperton correctly ruled in favor of the child to have his child support payments, reanalyzed and reconfigured. Another case that's kind of like this, and I'll just put it at the end of this. So Michael Caperton is going to reverse and remand when the kid is emancipated. So the kid turned 18 and graduated from high school, so I guess that's just, natural emancipation. They didn't have to file for specific emancipation. And this guy, John C. versus Donna Faye C. C-A-S-E-A-Y. Case number 2012-CA-001 786-ME. So John C.A. filed a motion to reduce his child support payments given the emancipation of one of his 3 kids, and the trial court denied his motion. No, you must pay child support for this kid that's not even living in the house anymore. So the eldest boy turned 18, graduated from high school in May 2012. You're allowed to make a motion to have a reduction or a change in child support when the kid is emancipated and is on their own, when they turn 18, when they're naturally emancipated or legally emancipated. So Michael Caperton was correct on this one, too. He reversed and remanded it.